Durin's on his way in 6.2, and I know exactly what you're thinking. Time to pre-farm like a maniac, right? But hold on a second. What if I told you that all that grinding might end up being completely pointless? Because in 6.3, just a few weeks later, 2 brand new artifact sets are dropping, and one of them might completely rewrite how you build Durin. Yeah, the one no one's talking about. Hey everyone, it's Frappy Impact back at it again. Before we dive into this madness, make sure to subscribe and ring that little bell, because things are about to get spicy. All right, deep breath. Let's dive into the chaos. So, Durin's almost here, and players everywhere are sprinting into the artifact domains like there's no tomorrow. But if the leaks are right, and they usually are, 6.3 could flip the entire Durin meta upside down. Today we're diving into both new sets, crunching the details and figuring out whether it's worth grinding now, or waiting for the storm to hit. Durin's kit is basically an explosion in motion. He's switching between 2 burst modes, light and dark, like some dragon-fueled DJ. His constellations? Burst damage. His passives? Burst damage. His entire existence? Burst damage. He's built to summon those mini dragons that follow you around and vaporize everything in sight. So when we're looking at these upcoming sets, there's really just one burning question. Which one makes his burst hit harder? Let's start with the first one, the Arcane Damage Set. Now this one's got potential. The 2-piece gives you a clean 15% damage boost if you're an arcane character. Nice and simple. But the 4-piece? That's where things get wild. With just 1 arcane unit on your team, you get a neat 15% crit rate. But bring in a second one, and suddenly, boom, 40% crit damage for arcane units and even 30% for everyone else. That's huge. That's team-wide chaos huge. But here's the twist. Durin doesn't need more crit rate. He's already drowning in damage multipliers. And that 15% damage bonus? It's just additive, like sprinkles on an already overloaded cake. It looks great, but it's not going to change your life. And unless you're running an arcane-themed squad, which, let's be real, most people won't, you won't even get that 40% crit damage bonus. You'd have to warp your entire team just to make it work. That's not synergy. That's Stockholm Syndrome. Now let's talk about the second set, the so-called healing set. And I can already hear you saying it. Healing? For a DPS? Yama, are you okay? Don't worry, I'm fine, probably, because this set is straight up ridiculous. The 2-piece gives you 15% healing bonus. Sounds boring, right? But the 4-piece is where the real insanity begins. When the wearer heals anyone in your party, that healed character gains a crit damage bonus equal to the healer's crit rate, up to 80%. You heard that right. The healed character gets the buff. That means if you slap this on Bennet, Jean, Baiju, whoever, you just turned your healer into a walking crit damage battery. Every time they heal, Durin gets juiced up. And the best part? It works even when they're off-field. Bennet's burst heals? Boom, Durin's crit damage skyrockets. Jean's little tornado heal? Boom, even more damage. This set basically turns your healer into an undercover nuke support. Now obviously you're not putting this set on Durin himself. That'd be tragic. But if you're already running a healer, and come on, who isn't? Add this set makes them secretly terrifying. You don't have to change your build, your rotation, nothing. Just exist, heal, and watch Durin's numbers go feral. Let's break it down for Durin specifically. Set 1, the Arcane set, sounds amazing until you realize it's a picky diva. It wants full arcane teams, it adds damage that barely moves the needle, and it gives crit rate that Durin doesn't even need. Set 2, the healer set, is the unexpected hero. It gives Durin up to 80% crit damage for free, works in any team, and doesn't touch his artifact slots. The only catch? You have to farm it for your healer instead of your DPS, which feels weird, but totally worth it. And let's be real, most people are running Bennet. He's basically the unofficial president of Genshin teams. And now imagine you're Bennet. Yes, the one who's been rocking Noblesse Oblige since the dawn of time. Suddenly handing out 80% crit damage like it's candy. That's not just synergy. That's divine intervention. So what's the verdict? If you're an absolute min-maxer with a fully arcane squad, maybe gamble on set 1. But for everyone else, the 99% of us living in reality, set 2 is the move. Throw it on Bennet. Throw it on Jean. Sit back and watch Durin melt everything in sight while you do nothing. And here's the wild part. It's not just for Durin. Any DPS in the game can benefit from that healer set. Bennett's old 20% attack buff from Noblesse looks like pocket change compared to this. The math's simple. 80% crit damage from your healer beats 15% additive damage from the Arcane set. Every single time. Especially since Durin's kit is already overflowing with raw multipliers. But hey, that's just what the leaks are telling us for now. Once Durin actually drops in 6.2 and we get our hands on him, the meta might shift again. Who knows? Maybe we'll all be wrong. Maybe miHoYo's planning something even crazier. Either way, get ready. If you found this breakdown helpful, drop a like, hit subscribe, and tell me in the comments. Are you rolling for Durin right away, or waiting to see how busted he really is? Until next time, good luck, happy pre-farming, and may your artifacts roll nothing but crit damage. Peace out.